everybody, welcome. My name is Chef Rob. Today we're going to make an orchard peaches and cream bread. It is very delicious, great for a brunch, great for the morning or even snack. So let's start making the crumb topping. I did put the oven on, preheated to 350. This way when the batter is all ready, you're ready to send it right into the oven. So let's get started with the crumb topping. Take a medium-sized bowl for that. You could use a pastry cutter. You could use a fork, or you could use your hands. Whatever you find that you like to work with better. 3 tablespoons of the all-purpose flour. So we're just going to put that into our medium bowl. And then we're going to put in some brown sugar. The light or the dark would be fine for this. We want 2 tablespoons. Brown sugar, always want to kind of pack, so it should kind of come out just like that. So you need 2 tablespoons of the brown sugar. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of the ground cinnamon. Cinnamon always gives it a lot of flavor. And then we're going to take 2 tablespoons of very cold butter. So I just took this out of the refrigerator. You could even have it in the freezer. When you have it very cold, it will just give it a nice crumbly effect that you would want right on top of this bread. So we're just going to dice this kind of small and just add it right into the brown sugar, the flour, and the cinnamon mixture. Just going to put that in here. And now I'm going to use my hands and just going to go like this. And I want it to be like pea-sized crumbles. So nice bakery size crumbs. And this may take just a couple minutes. You can, of course, again, just use a pastry cutter or a fork, whatever you find you're more comfortable with. When you do it with your hands, less things to clean. This bread will take about 60 to 65 minutes. And again, just have that preheated the oven to 350. You're going to need a 9x5 loaf pan. Okay, and you could always make these into like little mini loaves, make them into muffins, and you would have to reduce the time. This recipe, 60 to 65 minutes, and you'll get one very large loaf out of this. So this mixture, coming together pretty quickly. Take both hands and just really crumble the crumbs just like this. So we're just about there. And if the butter was warm or melted, you would not get these nice crumbs. And our crumbs, you can see how they come out. They're going to bake on this bread really, really nicely, and that's how you want yours to come out. So let's go on over and take the dry ingredients. We're going to take 2 full cups and just kind of spoon the flour in here and level it off. So 2 full cups of the all-purpose flour. Always make sure it's nice and level. Not too high, and you don't want it to be a little dent in there because then it might not have enough flour. We're going to take 1 teaspoon of baking powder. That's what's going to make this the quick bread and make it rise very easily. And then we want a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Just make sure that's nice and level. And we also want a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, the table salt. We're just going to whisk this and set this to the side. And then we're going to get our wet ingredients together. So we're going to start with 1 large egg and bring it to room temperature. That way it will incorporate a lot better. So just crack that right here. Drop that right in. And we are going to take some sugar. Sugar, we want 3/4 cup. So I'm using a 1/2 cup. And I like to just kind of go just like this. Just kind of shake it until it's nice and level. Make sure you always use the right amount of sugar, because that will create the moisture and texture of your bread and make it come out really good. So 3/4 cup. I'm going to add in some whole milk. The whole milk, we want 1/2 cup, and again, room temperature. Okay. Now you can either use Greek yogurt or you can use sour cream. So I'm using the Greek yogurt. You could use the plain, or if you had the vanilla, that would work as well too. So it's really a preference. If you are using the sour cream, make sure it is the full fat sour cream. That will matter in your bread. So I am just taking a half a cup. Just kind of make sure it's full, but nice and level. And then just drop this right in here. Make sure you get everything out. It does matter. And then we're going to put in the vegetable oil. The vegetable oil, just need 1/3 of a cup. And we're just going to whisk this up. And we're going to also add in some pure vanilla extract, which that is 1 teaspoon. The pure vanilla extract really does matter to have this in here, and to have this bread come out exactly how I'm making it, make sure you do have almond extract, because that almond flavor in here will just really give it some really good flavor. So the almond extract, about 1/2 teaspoon. And whenever you pour this, the pure, you can just really smell it, and what a nice flavor, right? Nice scent to it. So let's just whisk this up. And then we're just going to pour this right into the dry ingredients. Oh, that almond, you really smell that. So let's take our wet, add it into the dry. Make sure you get everything out. So you could just take a spatula and just kind of go just like this to get everything really good. Make sure when you are moving the batter around, you are getting all the flour from the bottom and the sides of the bowl. And you can take a whisk, but make sure you don't over mix it because it can toughen the batter. Okay, so as soon as that flour is gone, that is when you are going to stop. Again, just go against the side of the bowl. And we're going to set that aside. We're going to get our peaches ready. Oh, this batter smells so good. So the consistency should be just like this. Okay. And we have the oven preheated 350. We have our crumbs done. I'm going to cut up the peaches, and I am just we're going to layer it and put it into the bread pan. Okay, so I have 1.5 cups of the peaches here. Chop them up. You're going to take 1 tablespoon of sugar, granulated sugar, put it right on top of the peaches. 1/2 teaspoon of the ground cinnamon, sprinkle that right on there, and then just give that a little toss. And we have to spray the pan, or you could take a little bit of a butter and a little bit of flour and kind of put it on the pan. I'm just going to give it a quick spray. Quick spray is all you really need. So let's take 1/2 of this batter. Spread this out really well. And this bread would freeze really good. Just gonna make sure I get all that batter in there. A little fell in there. Just make sure it's nice and smooth. I want everything to come out nice and even. And now we're going to take these beautiful peaches and just kind of sprinkle these right on here. And you could always switch fruits with this. Any type of berry would work well with this. Strawberries and cream bread would be really good. Raspberries, blueberries. But when peach season is here, this is what you would want to use. And now we're just going to take the remaining batter, put this on top, and then I'm just going to smooth it really carefully right over the peaches, getting every drop out of here. Okay. So just kind of take this batter and bring it over the peaches. And then once we cover the peaches, we're just going to take a knife. You can use a butter knife or any type of kind of smooth knife. and just kind of swirl the bread and the peaches together. You're going to want to let this cool for quite a while when it comes out. Definitely best enjoyed when it is more room temperature. So I'm just going to kind of go just like this and just kind of swirl it. Just let everything, kind of the batter, drop down into the peaches and the cinnamon. And that's all you have to do. Let that batter off of there. And now let's take these beautiful bakery crumbs and spread them evenly throughout. When you put this in the oven, you want it to bake for the 60 to 65 minutes. Put a sheet of aluminum foil on the rack above just to prevent these crumbs from getting too dark. Okay. And this is going to go in the oven now, and we'll see. You'll see what a beautiful bread this is. And we'll put it on a nice platter and show you how it comes out. Our Orchard Peaches and Cream bread took 65 minutes. I left the tin foil on for about 3/4 of the time. You can judge how crisp you may like it. Has a nice crunch to it, but you can see nice and soft, it's a very moist bread, and you will absolutely love this. So thank you for always watching, and I hope you make this. Bye-bye.